Okay, we're at ALDI, probably the best place in the UK to do your food shop, the cheapest out there. Don't just take it from me, look at the stats. I'm going to take you through my weekly food shop and show you everything that I get to be under 40 pounds to build lean muscle. So let's go in and get it done. All right, so we're going macro by macro, so we're going protein, carbs and fat. I'm going to also be telling you how much everything is as we go along, and then a grand total at the end. This is really going to be the building block. So we've got 2 kilos of chicken breast, going to come out to £12.29. Next up, 0% fat Greek yogurt. Make sure you get the actual Greek yogurt, not Greek style, because it's going to contain less protein in it. So you want to make sure you don't fall for that trick. That's going to come out to 500 grams of that, I believe, is £1.50 something. I didn't quite see the price, but I'll do a total at the end anyway. Things like yogurt are always going to be great to sort of kill sweet cravings, because you can add things like blueberries to it, some honey, etc. So whenever you're getting a bit peckish in the evening. I'm going to get next up 5% lean mince. They've only got 750 grams. I know they've got 500. So we're going to get 500 grams here. 5% lean, you save yourself a little bit of fats, you get your protein, and then you're able to make up the fats in other areas. So yeah, I'm going to go for this. So next up, we're going for tuna. We're going to get 4 cans of this. One of these cans obviously is going to, let me just say the exact quantities. Yeah, 1 can carries 25 grams of protein, which is perfect for 1 meal. And then 4 of these cans, obviously 4 meals, this is going to come out to £2.49. So always be getting in spring water. Don't be getting sunflower oil, because obviously you're going to rack up a ton more fats. You want to make sure that your protein sources are consisting mainly from clean, no added extras in it, and that's a surefire way to keep it lean. Right, next up we've got 1 more bit of protein to get. So last bit of protein is going to come from eggs. Now you could argue this is also a fat source because of the fat content in them, but of course they do pack a punch when it comes to their protein content. So simple with these, I'm going to be getting 15 mixed size eggs, which are usually £2.89, but they're down to £2.85 today, so we're saving a few pennies. You do not want to be buying a tray of eggs with a bunch of crap ones in them. Right, that wraps up the protein, and that tallies up to £26.64. Not bad for your protein for the week, and some of this might actually last me a little bit longer as well, which is perfect. Right, next up is going to be everybody's favourite, carbs. My favourite, that's for sure. So going to go for some cheap ones here, cheap carb sources that are going to, again, last long, bulk out your meals, but also be clean, not full of processed crap. Like I said, give you everything you need. So let's start off with potatoes. 2.5 kilos is going to come out to £1.65. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of meals that I'm going to get from just this bag of potatoes. So yeah, an absolute game changer. You can do these so many ways. You can do mash, you can do boiled, you can do jacket potato, you can do chips in the air fryer. It's endless. The options are endless. So next up, we're going to be grabbing some rice. Now, a couple ways you can do this: cheap way and an expensive way. So ideally, you want to be getting a kilo of basmati rice. This is going to be £1.79. Now, I'm a big fan of this microwave rice here, but again, this is going to be 55p, whereas you do the math, you're going to get so much more in this bag for what you get here. It's a lot tastier than microwave rice, but like I said, not going to be budget friendly really. So we're going to stick to the bag. Right, what's next? We're going to be getting some oats. I love porridge. I love my oat meals. Where is that? So we're going to be getting 1 kilo here, which I believe comes out to 85p. Porridge oats. So per 40 gram serving, I'm getting 24 grams of carbs, 0 grams of which are sugars. Okay, this is what I mean by good, whole, clean carbs. So next up, we're going to be getting some rice cakes. Absolutely love these for snacks, like putting some banana and honey on it. If you watch my YouTube, you will have seen me make this before. So I'm going to just go for 1 pack of just lightly salted. So here we've got 27 calories per cake, which is insane. 5 grams of carbs, again, 0 sugars. And you can add some bits to it, like peanut butter, honey, banana, just as a pre-workout snack or a post-workout, and you'll find you get a lot of volume instead of, say, having a slice of bread. We've got 1 carb left, which is probably my favourite. And as much as I just said there, you can have rice cakes instead of bread. You definitely can, but it's fine to have some bread now and then. Now, I'm going to be getting some sourdough. I'm going to tell you a trick here. And why I do come to Aldi for this is because I do love Jason's sourdough bread, but Aldi have done their sort of version of it. So we've got 159 for effectively Aldi's copy of Jason's sourdough. You can't go wrong really. In my opinion, it tastes better as well. So grand total for the carbs is going to come to £6.75, which is incredible, saying that a lot of this might actually last me longer than a week. So yeah, it's you can't go wrong. Right, next up we're going to be going for fruit and veg, your micronutrients, which are going to bulk out your meals, keep you satiated, but also give you everything you need to hit your daily fibre intake. Let's go. So these are 16 pence each, which is lovely. So you're going to get 3 of those. Should do me for the week. I always get 2 ripe ones and 1 not so ripe, so it's got time to ripen and doesn't go bad. Next up, some veg. I'm going to be getting some broccoli, 79p. Okay, that's it for fresh fruit and veg. Now I'm going to be getting some frozen. So the thing about frozen veg, if you don't know this, is it's usually snap frozen, which means it's frozen as soon as it's picked, keeping its freshness, keeping its nutrients, and is a really, really good way to go so that it doesn't go bad in the fridge. So 1 bag of these, 400 grams, it comes to £2, I believe, £1.99, which is a lot cheaper than getting them fresh, and of course they'll last longer. The trick with these as well, when you're doing oats or yogurt, is put them in the microwave for a little bit, let them sort of melt, and then into the meal. So my go-to are going to be peas or petit pois. This is going to be £1.09. This is probably going to be good for about 7 meals, so again, perfect for the week. Right, so here's a little thing you've got to try and avoid in shops. Stuff like this, stuff that's labelled high protein or protein. A lot of the time, you'll get way more out of just simply making your own meal than something that's sort of pre-made. Same goes for sort of high protein yogurts and stuff like that. The highest protein yogurt you can get is Greek yogurt. Anything other than that, which is full of flavourings or other stuff like that, is only going to rack up the calories, rack up the pounds as well, because you're going to spend a lot more on it, and give you probably the same or less protein than you would get from simply getting some standard Greek yogurt and making your own yogurt bowl out of it. Same applies for meals like that, you know, chicken, some potatoes done in the air fryer, some veg will probably be cheaper than that meal and carry more protein itself and be better for you as well, because it's fresh. So yeah, just wanted to keep in mind. So fruit and veg totals £5.45. So anyone watching guess what macro we left out? Last one we're going to be getting are fats. Now I've got 2 fat sources that I'm going to be using. Like I said, eggs will be technically a bit of a fat source, but there's 2 others here. So 1 sweet one first and 1 savoury. So 70% dark chocolate, £2.49. Definitely on the pricier side, but it's one that I love. Like I said, I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so ways I like to use dark chocolate, I either add them into my oats, into a yogurt bowl. Sometimes I have a little bit on its own, depending on, you know, how far into a diet I am. It helps to kill some cravings. Oh, the avocados is my second fat source, and they're on offer today. So £1.29 for an avocado, not bad. Different ways I like to use my avocado are either smashed as like a guacamole, or just sliced and smashed actually on some bread. Right, so for the fats, the total is going to be £3.94. Right, so that concludes the shop. Let's see what it's come to. I'm pretty sure I've got it under £40. There's been a couple little deals in there as well, which are pretty good, but usually this will be £40, give or take.
In the bagging area and press continue.
It's meant to be June, summer. Let me show you what it's like. Right, I don't know if you can even hear me because of the torrential rain that's coming down. You can see as well, I got absolutely drenched. I parked the car a bit too far from the shop as well, so if you can hear me, great. I'm gonna go home now, get all of this unpacked. I'm hungry now after speaking about all that food as well. I've not eaten yet today, so I'll also show you a few meals that I'm gonna make from the food that I've got. So yeah, without further ado, let's get home. All right, made it back from the shop. Luckily, the sun has come out a little bit. It was torrential rain like you saw. But this is what it all looks like essentially, the shop. So it did come to £39.72 was the grand total, like I filmed on the screen. And yeah, you know, plenty here. This is going to definitely get me through the week. It is worth me mentioning that I would usually have a lot more variety, but for the purpose of the video, it was important for me to make sure it was, you know, a budget shop and a video that I would have appreciated when I was back, you know, when I was a student, for example, and I was on quite a tight budget. I think this can help massively for anyone who's really looking to cut down that weekly shop expense, but still eat well, eat whole, clean foods, and still have a little bit of variety in there as well. So I'll run you through quickly what I got again. So starting down here, we've got 70% dark chocolate. Like I said, great to go in yogurt bowls, oats, etc., or just as a little snack. Then veg, we got the broccoli. Now, don't be afraid of broccoli. Everyone sort of, I guess people turn their noses up at it. You can make it so many different ways. You can boil it, then put it into the air fryer with a little bit of salt, pepper, some soy sauce. Before anyone gets on at me in the comments, I know I've not factored in sort of oils and seasonings and stuff like that. Next on the veg, we've got the peas. I go, like I said, for petit pois, a little bit more expensive, but still was within budget. I just find these a lot nicer tasting and I prefer the texture. Then we've got some frozen blueberries. Again, lasts a lot longer in the freezer than it would to get fresh. Protein sources, we've got 5% lean beef mince, chicken breast, 2 kilos of that as well. And then cans of tuna, like I said, in spring water. Make sure you do not, if you are looking to keep things lean, make sure you're not buying the one that's in sunflower oil. Next up, sort of protein / fat source, I've got the eggs, 15 mixed eggs. These were also on offer as well, which is fantastic. Then into avocado is the other fat source. I have this with eggs. I have this with the sourdough, which is carb source, and with the eggs in the morning. And then we've got another carb source, white potatoes, 2 kilograms of this. So again, I said it in the shop, but this is going to last me a little bit longer than the week. We've got 0% fat Greek yogurt. Remember, not Greek style, but Greek yogurt, okay? It's going to contain more protein than the Greek style. And I would couple that usually with some protein powder, which again isn't included in the budget, but it's not necessary. Some blueberries, some dark chocolate, and maybe even some banana as well. Another snack, which is popular for me and actually for my clients who I coach, would be rice cakes. Some banana, that would do it, but if you've got some in the house, some honey or some peanut butter goes great with that. And then finally, oats to make porridge with, overnight oats, etc. So that is everything I got for under £40. It's perfect. The protein, I'd more than likely finish that within the week, but there's a few other bits that would last me longer than a week. So you can't go wrong really. In my opinion, ALDI is fantastic. I'll sometimes pick up bits from other shops. But I should probably stop doing that because it does add up quite a bit. But for the purpose of this video, it's so easy to get this done. So give it a try. Maybe just my biggest advice will be when you go to the shop, have a shopping list. Make sure you've planned it out. I plan it out aisle by aisle. In this instance for the video, I'd planned it out macro by macro. So carbs, proteins, fats, veg. But like I said, just have a list, know what you're doing. Don't go in there and just leave it all up to chance, and you know, remove the guesswork so you know exactly what you're doing. You can also budget beforehand. You could go on the website, see what everything costs, and then you know exactly what you're getting, and you know that you're going to be at that price. And if anything, sometimes there'll be an offer on and you'll save a little bit more money. So that's one of my biggest tips, and what I used to do back in the day as well when I was on a budget. So yeah, pretty good shop. Right, so here is an example meal. Basically chicken, rice and broccoli. But what makes this different is really, you know, the way it's prepared. I mean, admittedly, it is a little bit boring, but I honestly, 85–90% of my meals in the week are made up of this, and I honestly enjoy them. I really do. I enjoy plain foods, seasoned very well, that's one thing. So on here, like, as plain as it looks, you know, the rest of it, the chicken itself, I've put salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, paprika, a little bit of garlic powder, and then put it in the air fryer and it's come out lovely. Mix all this together. It's mixed for some good flavors. And then here we've got some olive oil and salt and pepper on the broccoli as well. So, you know, plenty of flavors. I love this. It's a nice balanced meal and tons of protein in there. Anyway, that is gonna be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you left a like. And if you found it useful, then stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe if you're not already to not miss any videos, because there's gonna be a lot more videos of this type coming up. Thinking of doing other supermarkets and price comparing between them, and just in general trying to do budget shops in other supermarkets. So maybe the one that you shop at will be on the next video. Stay tuned. Catch you in the next one.